What's going on, everybody? Man, Eric Wilson, Sports Arena here on a late night edition, if you will. Uh, it was ugly. Let's just call it what it is, people. It was an ugly, ugly victory, but it was a victory nonetheless, and I'm gonna sit here and celebrate it. My man Alex Fleming was kind enough to stay up and join me on this one. So, what's up, bruh? Don't. Yeah, I know. Listen, it ain't got to be pretty, but I'll take my W.
It was definitely more entertaining than the debates. But bro, bad football. Bad football.
Well, that's what you get when you're having two of the worst teams in the worst division play on Thursday night. At least they kept it interesting.
Giants or Eagles first? Take your pick.
I'll let you take the Giants, and then I will dissect my team.
Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones, 20 for 30 for 187 yards and 2 touchdowns. One to Golden Tate, which he forgot right after he threw the touchdown to because he only had one catch for 39 yards, and that catch was for a touchdown. And then Shepard, who had a modest game. Devontae Freeman, trash. You could drop him. 3 carries, 8 yards. Wayne Gallman, a goal line touchdown that shouldn't even have been a goal line touchdown if Daniel Jones didn't trip over his own damn feet. 20 for 30, 487 yards, 92 yards rushing. The white El Freaky, if you will.
Don't wait. No. I am not going to let you call Daniel Jones the white El Freaky. That is not happening right now. Listen, he ran 80 yards down the field in Philadelphia. And I was sitting here screaming at the TV like, you're letting Daniel Jones run the ball. Daniel Jones. This ain't Saquon.
No. Don't be shocked because he did the exact same damn thing in Duke. Look, I believe New York should have drafted Dwayne Haskins. He always wanted to be a New York Giant. He was in the New York Giants facility, but that can't be the face of the franchise. That's a different story. While Daniel Jones was at Duke, he did run for more than 2,000 yards. Let's not pretend that this is something new.
But he did
Daniel Jones in Duke had 82 touchdowns passing and 2,000 yards rushing. And he leads his team in rushing ever since Saquon Barkley went down with an injury. He has over 300 yards. He leads the team in rushing. It's pathetic. So please don't be shocked.
Okay. All right. So now we're going to get to my team. And let me just say this. I am sick and tired of Carson Wentz holding on to the damn ball. Oh, my God. That man holds on to the ball entirely way too much. And my blood pressure, if I took it right now, it would be in the high. Not just the high, but the high. Every single play, he tries to make something out of nothing. And I'm like, what is your point? You have Boston Scott, a guy who you've utilized in the past. You don't have Miles Sanders, so why not run a play? Run a play. That's just hand the ball off. Let your offensive line, granted, except for Kelsey, they're all new guys. Let Boston Scott run. No, we want to throw the ball. We want to throw 50-50 balls all night long into the end zone, hoping that someone's going to catch them. But thank God Boston Scott actually came down with the necessary one. And then Brandon Graham being Brandon Graham on the defensive side of the ball. If Doug Peterson, Alex, goes for one more 2-point conversion, I declare for the Lord, I swear to you. Why are we going for 2-point conversions after 2-point conversions week in and week out? Oh, we got comments now. Now all of a sudden we got comments. My man Ben, who's a Cowboys fan, by the way, a win is a win. I wish it was a tie. Well, Ben, Just go ahead and beat. Hey, Ben, do me a favor. Why don't you try and beat Washington this Sunday? Then come talk to me. NFC least. Oh, and our boy Danny Thompson, he fell short. I know, Danny. I know, but God,
Bro, Carson Wentz is all about me. Look at his stats tonight. 359 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception.
Yeah.
7 carries, 14 yards, and the lone rushing touchdown. If it doesn't involve Carson Wentz, it doesn't get done. All of those throws outside to the corners because nobody's open in the middle of the field, the holding on to the ball that raises your blood pressure to diabetic level, yeah. Bro, Corey Clement not being utilized properly. Boston Scott needed more touches. Now, even though he was worth 17 points fantasy-wise, why are you going to wait till the last damn minute to hit him for a touchdown? You had that all night. Those linebackers couldn't cover you or me. You had that all night. But it's the Carson Wentz show. It's the Carson Wentz show. So I can't wait till Carson Wentz actually starts getting broken and Jalen Hurts can play. So you can get rid of that damn contract. You can save yourself some money, build the offensive line, and start fresh with Jalen.
But Jalen Hurts, when he did come in, granted, he was somewhat viable, but he's running the same damn RPO play, time in and time out. And defenses are scheming for that. They already know that when Jalen Hurts is under center, 95% of the time, it's an RPO play. That's it. It's a run pass option. Or it's a trick play, jet sweep to one side or the other, or a flea flicker. Those are the 3 plays. That's it.
So you're blaming Coach Peterson for not implementing offense to the backup quarterback? That sounds novel.
I'm saying the creativity is not there. We got people chiming in. Well, I do a late night edition. Everybody's chiming in. Christopher Cole's chiming in. We know about a quarterback holding on to the ball previous 5 years. Danny Thompson, Wentz ran for his life. My man, Jay Riley, haven't heard from him in forever. Trade for Brian Drew and Von Mack with the Browns. No, I'm sorry, Jay. I don't think we're going to do that. Alex.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this podcast or this broadcast, please let us know how horrible this game was and how bad the NFC least is. Can you see any, and that includes Washington, any of these teams winning a playoff game? Please send a response.
No. I'll tell you that right now. Hell to the no. It's bad enough that I would actually have to eat my own words if a 7-9 team gets into the playoffs in the NFC least, because I have always been a proponent of if you can't have a 500 or better record, you should not get a playoff spot. That is how I've always felt.
Bro, the Philadelphia Eagles have had more injuries on their team than the New York Hospital. The Washington football team hates itself, hate each other. Bro, there was a post about the Miami Dolphins benching Ryan Fitzpatrick. And somebody in the Washington football fan page said it was racism that they turned to Tua instead of keeping Fitz. They hate each other. Oh, and Dallas. Oh, man, I'm salivating about Dallas. Where do I begin? You don't want to pay your franchise quarterback. You sign Andy Dalton on the cheap. Your franchise quarterback gets hurt, and Andy Dalton forgets how to throw a football. Zeke only fumbled a total of 4 times last year. Zeke's got 5 fumbles, and it's week 7. Oh, your wide receivers. Amari Cooper, $100 million man, 100-yard game.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait. Time out. Say that again, because I've been the guy who's been very big on the fact that was an overpriced, overpaid contract for a walking piece of mediocrity that is Amari Cooper. Don't even get me started on him.
CeeDee Lamb, your best receiver, rookie, coming out of OU, and you don't even implement him in the first half of the offense against Arizona, which I'm about to get to. Michael Gallup, why are you dropping touchdowns, bro? You're the third wide receiver now. You digress from the number 2 to the number 3. You're the third wide receiver. Why are you dropping touchdowns, bro? Where do we do that at? Dalton Schultz is now the starter because the guy who was supposed to be the starter got hurt week 1. Ooh, and that defense. Oh my God. Gerald McCoy doesn't make the team, gets cut. Okay, whatever. Everson Griffin, where are you at? They paid you. You're not doing much. You're not getting any defensive pressure, which leads to no sacks. Vander Esch is half man, half hurt all the damn time. You're hardly ever on the field. Jalen Smith, he's over encumbered. He's got too much stuff to worry about. Sean Lee, bro, you're like Peter Griffin and the knee mem. Ow. Ow. Always hurt. And your secondary is a touch better than the Atlanta Falcons. That says everything I need to know about you guys. This entire complete division is an embarrassment.
Listen, I can't argue with you. I cannot argue with you in anything that you say. The only silver lining that I will speak to when it comes to my team is the simple fact that we are injury prone. However, the one guy that everybody, including yourself, Mr. Fleming, is expecting to get injured has sustained through now 7 weeks. So
plexiglass. It's a matter of time. It is a matter of time. Time is on my side. Yes, it is. He ain't making it through the whole season. The way that they're implementing him running the football and all of these damn RPO actions, this is Mr. Glass we're talking about. I don't give a damn if it's plexiglass. Bro, week 14. If he can make it to week 14 without getting injured, I'll eat crow. I'll eat my words. Hell, I might even wear an Eagles jersey. I'm burning that bitch afterwards, but I might wear it.
Whoa. Don't burn it. Just send it to me. I'm just saying, you ain't got to go through all that now. Don't spend your hard-earned money on the Eagles jersey and then to burn it. No, send it to me.
Who says I was going to spend money on it? I'd probably steal one. I'm not paying money for that. Okay. You got me bent. With that being said,
hold on. I'll do you one better. If Carson Wentz does not make it to week 14, I will let you choose. I will wear either a Bucks or a Bears jersey. If Carson Wentz does make it to week 14, you must wear an Eagles jersey. I will make sure that you get it because I'm going to want it back. But I'm going to make you wear one. Fair enough?
As long as it's not Wentz.
No, I don't have a Wentz jersey. So
thank goodness, because I don't want diarrhea. That's not healthy at my age.
Would you stop? Or do we have a bet or not? I'm just asking. Do we have a bet?
We have a bet. Week 14. What are the comments saying? Are we out of comments? Did they just tune us out?
No, we got comments. He's like, how about acquiring offensive line help? Danny Thompson.
Facts.
Danny, I was filling out Trump's tax return. Wow. Christopher Cole, if the Bucks can't beat the Giants next week, they don't deserve to win ever again.
No, they don't.
Jay Riley, you don't need to steal. Someone would give you it for free. Thanks, Jay. I appreciate that. Good Lord. Oh. But I mean, listen, say what you want about these Giants. They actually are keeping themselves in games. So can you imagine if Saquon was actually playing? They might actually be atop the division, as bad as this division is.
You know, it's sad because I actually see the Giants losing these games so close. The offensive line is an issue. Andrew Thomas was disciplined last week, and they barely lost that game last week. Imagine if Thomas was playing. The Giants only been blown out once. I don't count the Pittsburgh one because they came back in the fourth quarter with Darius Slayton touchdowns. The Giants offensively is probably the best team in this division. I don't count Dallas's points because they're always coming back from behind and losing Dak. Oh my God. I mean, Andy Dalton, whoa.
But look at it like this.
One touchdown? You threw the ball 54 times and got one touchdown? 54? No, okay, how about this? You threw the ball 54 times and couldn't break 300 yards. Should have had the ball picked off 4 times. It was only picked off twice because Arizona defenders can't catch a damn football. That's how bad Andy Dalton played.
But let's go back to the Giants for a minute. All right, so tonight they lost by 1 against Washington. They won their first game, but only by 1. Dallas lost by 3. Rams lost by 8. The blowout game that they've had was against San Francisco, where they lost by 27. Lost by 4 to your Bears. And opening week lost by 10. And that's when they had Saquon to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that's what I'm saying to you. If, in fact, they had Saquon, the Giants would, honestly, in my opinion, they would be in first place in this horrible division. We'd be sitting here talking about the resurgence of the G-men.
Okay, the best thing about the G-men right now, believe it or not, is their secondary. Look who caught the touchdowns tonight. Look where they caught the touchdowns. They may have gave up a deep throw, but that was one. That was Hightower's only catch. And it was a 59-yard, 50-50 ball. Why? We know the people in the secondary. Right. Caesar Angulo, Darnay Holmes. And you're not going to beat them over the top deep. They need offensive line like they need a hole in the head. And you know what? If they had a capable runner, a little bit better than Wayne Gallman with the 34 yards and 1 touchdown at the goal line, they would actually be dangerous. San Francisco beat them up. Okay, fine. Pittsburgh, they pulled away late because that game was back and forth. The joke that was last week, yeah. And as far as Chicago is concerned, bad coaching decisions is the reason why they lost to Chicago. New York, if you could take away all the nonsense with 1-6, is not that bad.
Right.
If they draft some offensive linemen next year, they could actually potentially be good. Something the NFC East desperately needs.
Listen, I'll go back to my team and I will say this to you. As much as I love the players who are on this team, on the offensive and defensive line, we have got to start looking for the future. Because right now, it's the definition of insanity. We're just running guys out there and seeing what works. And if it wasn't for guys like Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham on the defensive side of the ball, and even Vinny Curry to some degree, our defense is just horrible. But hey, let me shut up for a minute and give some high praise because Jalen Mills, right place, right time, actually did catch a ball and have an interception tonight. So, but you're right. Without Darius Slay.
Can I just say this? Can I just say this while being respectful? You guys need to cut or get rid of Deshaun Jackson. Enough is enough. Why the hell does this man get a contract and get to be on IR or injured reserve every time he gets touched? Yes, it was a late hit. Now, all of a sudden, he's going to fake an injury for another 4 or 5 weeks. This nonsense needs to stop. He's stealing money.
We don't know.
Stealing money.
We don't know how bad this injury was tonight. And you and I both saw it. So I'm not going to sit here and say that he's faking an injury because that looked like it was something serious. But as far as your original point, well, your point in general, yes, I think it is time that Deshaun hangs it up. But the brother can still play. He can still beat some of these young cats and some of these defenders, man. You can't.
I can still beat some of these young cats in basketball. That doesn't mean I deserve a contract.
Hey, if they want to offer you a 10-day one, take it. I'm just saying. I mean, get your money. Put your ass. Hold on. Christopher Cole's chiming in here again. Cowboys defense is trash. Eagles don't have a quarterback. Giants offense is decent, but defense
is trash.
It's trash, and Washington is just bad. Okay.
I completely agree with that assessment. I'm not saying you guys don't have a quarterback, but when he goes down, that team's done. And Washington is just
okay.
Washington is like Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 when you wake up and realize you're still in the nightmare.
All right. So, but help me understand something. So you're saying once Wentz goes down, the team is done. So you don't have any love for Jalen Hurts.
Because they're not giving Jalen Hurts the full playbook. You remember how Lamar Jackson looked his rookie year whenever they decided to move away from Joe Flacco, and he ran the ball 3 times more than he ever passed it? That's how he only ended up with 1,200 yards. Well, look at Jalen Hurts. You said it tonight. They're running an RPO, a stupid sweep, or an RPO option where he throws the ball 4 yards down the field. Yay! Who the hell are you beating with that type of play script? They don't have faith in Jalen Hurts. They're wasting his talents. He ran an NFL-ready style offense under Lincoln Riley in Oklahoma. Why are you dumbing it down for him? And I don't believe Philadelphia really wants to see Jalen Hurts take the starting position anyway, because too many talking heads have too much faith in Carson Wentz. That's why he has the power that he has. The NFC East is despicable. Like Daffy Duck says, you're despicable. Nobody's got their head on straight. The Giants don't know how to win. The Washington football team despise each other. Dallas has an old man who's senile, and Philadelphia needs to see a psychiatrist with all the injuries that are going on. It's bad football. It dumbs people down. I truly believe so.
Fair enough. I'm going to let you get out of here. I think Mike and Ruth might join me here in a little bit. You are welcome to stay on if you want, but
talking about the NFC East? Hell no. I'd rather take an Advil and go to bed.
All right. Well, my brother Alex Fleming, Florida Sun Review, Fantasy and Flavors, Jacksonville Jaguars contributor. I appreciate your time tonight, sir. Much love, brother. Peace.
Peace.
So, yeah, I mean, not much more can be said about this, but I do have some Dallas Cowboy fans who I'm sure want to jump on this bandwagon and have a conversation. So, your man, Eric Wilson, Sports Arena. Be back in a little bit.
Wait till you guys eat this.
Wow! It looks so
Give me some of that.
That's what I'm talking about.
For over 100 years, the story has been written, ever-changing and growing with each new chapter. The soul remains, though the characters change. Bigger, faster, stronger, smarter.
Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide.
So too grows our fandom. inches start miles ahead. The 2020 Prospect Encyclopedia. This September, available on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and Blitzalytics.com.
What's going on, y'all? Back here on the Sports Arena, late night edition where people are just dropping comments and everybody being funny. But your man Eric Wilson's still here. As I said, my man Michael Caratanudo, Dallas Cowboy fan, I'm sure wants to chime in. So let me go ahead and bring him in. What's up, Mike?
Man, you know the truth. I recorded the game, but I heard all the highlights on the way home. I mean, the one time I want the Giants to do me a favor because my pathetic team can't do itself any good. 21 to 10, 5.5 minutes left. Come on, man. I mean, and Daniel Jones running 80 yards and tripping over his own feet. I mean, it sounds like it was the Cowboys out there. So, no, hey, congrats, man. They won. Like I said, Carson Wentz, like, I don't want to hear people, and again, it's the injuries, Eric. This is what kills me because, throughout the years, again, I respect teams winning, and football, as we know, is the ultimate team sport. As much as I pick on Tom Brady, yes, it does take a lot to play NFL quarterback at a high level. But it's like now there's always the excuse of, injuries. And if some guys don't have people around them, it's never their fault. And I mean, for Carson Wentz, every time I hear it, it's like, it's like the crow in my mouth. And it's like I'm almost vomiting because I'm defending Carson Wentz. It's like when I defend, U of A in any discussion in college sports, it's that same thing. But, I mean, if it's a testament to how good he is. And again, listening on the way home from my game, the Giants had a chance to make some plays, but Carson Wentz made them. Inevitably, that's it. Like, and I loved your text, like, we won that game. Like that was perfect. But yeah, it especially with this year with COVID, I'm just so. I listen to people, and I like literally think they don't hear themselves speak, and if they do, it's just so contradictory, Eric. Because again, there's always excuses for some quarterbacks, whether it be Brady or Rodgers, and yeah, they've earned it. They've gotten to that point, but I don't want to hear, oh well, our team's hurt or this and that. I mean, look, if the Cowboys and Eagles got their teams back, it would actually probably be a fun race for first place in the East, as much as I hate to admit it. Because
No, I agree with you.
We know where Washington's at. We know where the Giants are at. And look, I like Daniel Jones. I think it's too early, but I think Daniel Jones is the right guy. I'm not saying they couldn't have got him later, but I like him.
But Mike, here's the thing about that. And Alex and I were just talking about that. If you look at the Giants and you look at their first 7 weeks, okay, even including their one victory, all of their games have been 10 or less, with the exception of the blowout against San Francisco. So can you imagine if they actually had Saquon? It might be a 3-dog race between the Giants, your Cowboys, and my Eagles. You know what I'm saying? So I can't sit here and just dismiss the Giants. Clearly, after what I just saw tonight, the fact that Daniel Jones ran for 80 yards, and the only reason he didn't score is because he tripped over himself.
How did that look? I mean, nobody was around him, literally?
Mike, let me tell you what happened. Jim Schwartz said, we're going to rush Daniel Jones. They brought everybody.
Oh, wow.
Somehow, some way, he breaks off to the right, and it was like Moses parted the Red Sea. And Daniel Jones, Mike, I'm screaming at the TV. Daniel Jones how are we letting Daniel Jones run the football? I mean, Alex had to remind me that, yes, when he played at Duke, he did rush for over 2,000 yards. But I'm like, you mean to tell me there wasn't one black jersey in his vicinity? Daniel Jones almost went 90-plus yards tonight. And if he wouldn't have tripped over, I mean, you could see it. I think he either A, just was out of gas, or B, I don't know what happened. Like he was looking to see if someone was actually coming, because he was in the red zone, clearly.
How much separation did he have? When he tripped?
By the time he tripped and fell, because he tripped and stumbled, so by the time he fell, there was a defender there ready to, tag him to make sure he did not get back up and run. He tried, but he was caught, so it was over and done with. But yeah.
Wow. I was going to say that because I knew he was, and Alex said 2,000. I knew it was around 2,000 yards, but yeah, no, I mean, you're right. If Saquon was there, and the Cowboys defense, and the unfortunate thing is, if Saquon was there, I would say it probably, as much as it pains me, be your Eagles, and then the Cowboys, and you're right, and the Giants right there, because look, our defense is absolutely pathetic. And I thought, to what you said the other day, I was talking to somebody and I said, Mike Nolan needs to be gone. Players are coming out, and this is what annoys me about players saying, oh, this coaching staff's not prepared or they don't make adjustments. Well, you haven't made plays on the field as a defense. And as an offense, and Zeke, I mean, again, he's not – they said players were saying it. Zeke's been fessing up to his fumbles and saying that, he knows that he's not worried about it because he's not a fumbler. And, yeah, he needs to protect the ball more. But when you're sitting there saying, oh, the coaches don't – I'm sorry. The coaches can put you in position, but you still need to make plays. And the defense, as we know, has not made any plays.
Right.
And it's to the point where now you have your whole offensive line gone, which, again, in football, like I said, if this was New England in the height of Tom Brady, every excuse in the book would be made for him. That's what annoys me. And even with Aaron Rodgers, because I love Aaron Rodgers' talent. He's a Pac-12 kid, but his body language always has annoyed me throughout the years. As I've told, like rolling his eyes at receivers, and it's like, look, I get it, you missed it, but what about when you miss it and you overthrow them by 7, 8, 9 yards? Yeah, you have a strong arm, but you missed the pattern. Like, you're not rolling your eyes at yourself. So, I mean, again, I get you can be excited. You see quarterbacks, smack hands, like not blaming the receiver, but his body language and the body language and the excuses, like, and it started years ago. Even I think when we first met, I think I remember saying to you, like, press conferences started saying like, oh, we didn't do this, we didn't do that. I'll give those coaches that point or those players that point. But once again, that team game plan for you, they adjusted, they punched you in the mouth. There's a reason why you weren't able to. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't have performed, but yeah, with when you look at the injuries that the Cowboys have, I mean, it'll be funny, and the Eagles too. I mean, again, not that injuries are funny, but if a 7-9 team, or Eric, I'm almost vomiting laughing saying this, if a 6-10 team in the East gets into the playoffs and then makes a run because people get healthy. Now, I know, look, Tyron Smith isn't coming back. Zach Martin should be back this week from what I've read. But Leo Collins, I know he's on the IR list, so I think he can come back. I don't know if he is. But, I mean, if somehow the Eagles, it wouldn't even be 6-10 for the Eagles, it would be 5-9-1. Or no, 5-10-1. Sorry.
5-10-1. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
or six. Well, actually, it would be 6-9-1.
6. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, 6. The tie. I know basic math and the ties always mess me up. But yeah, I mean, it would be absolutely hilarious if they could make a run. And I would have to give, my non-fanatic hat on. I would have to give a little bit of the advantage to the Eagles because it looks like, from what you said and from what I've seen, that they're going to get some of their line back. Now,
Yes.
I don't know how soon, and now I know not at the same time, but
no.
I mean,
Ertz is out 4 to 6 weeks.
Yes.
Miles Sanders is, I think he's another 1 to 2 weeks. But as far as Lane Johnson's, he's in, he's out, he's in, he's out. The rest of that offensive line is only, I'm suspecting as to when they're going to come back. Let me ask you a serious question, Mike. We've all, over the last 4 or 5 years, we've always known that Dak is the leader of his team. Dak has been the guy who has stepped up and shown that he loves the game. Granted, he should be paid what he's worth, but he loves the game. With him being out right now, who is that leader in the locker room?
Up until a few weeks ago, I probably would have said to you DeMarcus Lawrence, even though he wasn't playing the best. But I mean, he was that guy that no matter what, banged up, was kind of the DeMarcus Ware, Jason Witten school. I mean, being around them, like, accountable.
Right.
I'm not saying that. I don't know if he's a rah-rah guy. And again, I know your disdain for him, even though I think he does run the best routes of all the receivers, Amari Cooper, as a route runner.
All right.
I don't know if he's that kind of guy. You lose a Jason Witten in the offseason who's not getting used that much in Oakland, which I don't understand why you don't keep him around. And Dak goes down. Zeke, I mean, I think he is a little bit. I don't know if that's his full personality, though, just in even seeing him. I mean, yeah, he's a fired up guy and he needs to get his confidence back. I don't know if he needs to go to the Tiki Barber school of, high and tight, because it's just ridiculous. But I mean, I think it's somebody on that offense that has to step up. I mean, a guy like a Zach Martin, because Lyman, you never hear with Lyman, as you and I know. I mean, the interior is black and white. Those guys ain't messing around. Like,
nope.
We need to do our job. In general, but they can fire up a team. But yeah, you look to that quarterback. I mean, like we've seen, Drew Brees, for years. I mean, just kind of that focal point of the Saints. And yeah, I mean, I think Dak got that from. Even when Tony Romo was there, Romo was a good leader, but Jason Witten was that voice you always saw, like pregame and, just talking. So, I mean, I would love for a guy like, I would have to say it's either like Jalen Smith now that I think about it. Honestly, Jalen Smith or Leighton Vander Esch, because he looked good back on the field last week. I will say that, even though they got beat up. We watched the game.
No, clearly when you watched it, you saw it. Yeah.
Vander Esch. So I would say like Jalen Smith definitely could easily be that guy. I mean, just his story alone, what he had to overcome and how great, I will say the word great because how great he's played since he's been healthy and overcoming that injury. I mean, he is the heart and soul of that. Now he needs to make some more tackles at times, but I would say it would fall to Smith or Vander Esch because, I mean, you look at the offense and it's like, receivers, everybody thinks they're divas, and Amari Cooper to me doesn't have that kind of personality. Yeah, he wants the ball, but Michael Gallup's young. I love it. And obviously CeeDee Lamb is young and needs to make plays. But, yeah, that defense, needs to step up as leaders, but they need to start making more plays is what it comes down to because, if Dak's not around, I mean, Dak hopefully can be around the team because I think that would give him a boost. But yeah, he
I
needs
think.
to get paid.
Well, here's my
And-
thing. I think when he's able to be back at least in AT&T Stadium, I mean Jerry World, whatever it is, yeah, he'll be there. So, okay,
I got to ask you this real quick though. How come you never responded to my picture text when the media out here was saying the Cardinals are going to need to trade for Zach Ertz? I'm like, Eric didn't even respond to that.
because I don't. Nope. Not
just
even.
saying,
I'm not
before
even
he got hurt.
feeding into. I'm not even feeding into that.
Did you see with the Jets today though? Because oh my God, you're saying this, and I'm like, oh man, if Eric sees this, I know he's got to see it. But they were saying, what's his name? Leonard Williams, the second year kid is 22 years old. That they were saying rumors are he's on the market, but they're not going to give. I mean, you at least have to put a second round pick in with whatever else. So I mean, I said when Jake, I think, said the other night, the Cowboys should go after him. The kid's only 22 years old. He's on a rookie contract, so you still have 4 more years on a rookie contract. And I mean, again, with the injuries they've suffered, I mean, the defense looking terrible, it couldn't hurt. I mean, you gave up the first round pick for Amari Cooper, which worked out fine, but if you can get somebody like that who wants to get out of Jets, where I think I heard one host today saying, I'm like, oh man, that's painful, where careers go to die.
Yeah, everybody's trying to get it. Everybody's trying to get out of the Jets.
Right.
I mean, listen, they'll jump to the Giants locker room. At least they know they got a shot there. I mean, you ain't got to go nowhere. Just trade locker rooms. Yeah, so, exactly. All right. So you've got Washington on Sunday, and then it's round 1 of me and you.
Sunday
now,
Night
my
Football.
hope. Well, let's hope they don't change it.
I don't think
because our team sucked that bad. Because they did switch up this Sunday Night Football game, which was supposed to be Tampa and the Vegas Raiders. They actually moved that to the 4:00 game and made Seattle. Whatever the reason is, I just don't want them to ruin our Sunday night matchup. Right. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think they will. It's It's first of all, even if the Cowboys are a dumpster fire and the Eagle, I mean that rivalry, they'll never turn that down.
I agree.
I mean, very rarely. And B, the Cowboys even being more of a dumpster fire, if they don't beat Washington, which again they should, they better. Then, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much done because that shows that Mike McCarthy literally again, if he wants to save his job, he needs to fire Mike Nolan. And getting back to my point earlier, they need to bring Wade Phillips back in because I don't think Rod Marinelli comes in, and I don't understand why you let Rod Marinelli and Chris Richard go. You kept Kellen Moore. Why not keep the guys? And yeah, you change scheme a little bit without a preseason. Again, we understand why. And with the COVID cases we've had, I'm not saying it didn't make sense to not have preseason games, but it's still.
No, you're right. Absolutely.
It doesn't seem like the same football the season to me this year. I mean, again, it is, and I'm watching and I love it, but at the same time, it's frustrating. And so you let Chris Richard go, who's one of the great young minds of the game, worked well with Rod Marinelli. Rod Marinelli had no problem letting him call defense. And like I said to you, there's never been a defensive line or a defense in general that didn't play hard for Rod Marinelli because, older or not, he got in big boys' faces and let you know, fine, you want to ride the pine, you want to be out of here, have a good day. Like there were no punches pulled with him. But yeah, I know you're shaking your head, but I would love to fire Mike Nolan and have Jarrah say, well, we're gonna bring Wade Bum's son back, the son of Bum. We're gonna bring him back, just so Eric can shake his head even more. Because hey, as a coordinator, every defense plays for that man. Every defense plays.
Everybody does, and I don't want to see it. My blood pressure's already in the high meters. I don't need it to be like that when we play the Dallas Cowboys. I really don't. So hey,
I gotta ask you this real quick though, with your Eagles, the way.
There you go.
Yeah,
you're back.
Okay. No, I was going to say, I ask you this real quick. With the Eagles, now, I mean, Carson was, but receiver-wise, I mean, I know Deshaun Jackson was banged up, but he's back, right?
He got injured tonight.
He got hurt. Okay,
and had to be carted off the field.
Oh, yeah. My goodness. Okay. But
he made it to the sideline with assistance, but from there, he had to be on the cart going into the locker room. So
Did they say initial reports what it was, or did they
I
get
haven't
a
seen
report?
anything. I mean, I can check Bleacher and see what they say, but I mean, as of right
But
now,
if you're Doug Peterson, I mean, again, because they're another team that could definitely trade for your boy, for Williams, and again, like everybody can purge the Jets, like we're saying. But yet Adam Gase is still there. So anyway, but if you're the Eagles, though, I mean, are you a big fan? Would you want to make that trade and bring more defense in, or are you literally trying to scour for offense? And I know the name Antonio Brown came up with Seattle. Philly's always, unfortunately, with Jeffrey Lurie, bringing Michael Vick back, who, again, I was always for coming back. He served his time. People want to sit there and say ridiculous things. He served his time. He paid the price. He rehabilitated. He deserves to be back in the league. But would you go after an Antonio Brown? Would you want him there? Because obviously he hasn't played in a little bit, and so it would take a few weeks to get back in. But if they're in the thick in a playoff run, I mean, why would you not go after Antonio Brown?
All right, so let me answer the first question. You were asking about Leonard Williams. I'm always about beefing up our defense. Any way that we can, I would definitely, if we can make that happen, I would definitely take Leonard Williams. No question about that. I think that would be a smart move for us to give this young man a system, because I think him and Jim Schwartz would work well together. With regard to Antonio Brown, I have to give you both sides. I have to pull a Jake here and give you both sides of the story. So the professional side of me, the business side of me says right now, the Eagles wide receiving core, there is no true number one. So to go out and secure an Antonio Brown, somebody who is capable of separating himself from defenders, from corners and safeties, a guy who's not afraid to go up there and catch the ball, a guy who is 6'5" and can make the plays when necessary, yes. Now, as a fan, as an Eagles fan, hell no, I don't want that cancer in my locker room. I do not want that in my locker room, because I've seen what he's done in Pittsburgh, I've seen what he's done in Las Vegas, and I've seen what he's done in New England. Why the hell would I want that type of – my heart rate's already screaming at 150, 160. Right. And now on top of that, you want me to have to continually worry about what's the next crazy knuckleheaded thing Antonio Brown's going to do to mess up the timing and the rhythm of my team?
Right. But here's the thing I would say. In New England, he wasn't a problem in the locker room. They just released him because of the investigation and the charges. Now, he didn't have a chance to be because he wasn't there. Again, wasn't there long enough. Like you said, okay, both sides of this. So my devil's advocate side to you that says no is I believe he finally learned from it. He misses a game he loves. Yes, he can't come back to after game 8. I know they're investigating the assault charge still, but he still got suspended for the 8 games. I think he would realize that this literally, if he truly loves the game, is his last chance, because you and I know at this point it's a 1-year deal and it's all incentive based. So he's incentivized to not be, like you said, a knucklehead and be that problem. I know at Pittsburgh in the end, it was a problem. And then, in Las Vegas, Oakland and now Las Vegas, but in Oakland, he just, was acting a fool. And like I said, in New England, I'm not saying it wouldn't have got to that point, but I think playing with Tom Brady there, and then they had kind of got on a page seemingly pretty quick, even though he was only running like 2 or 3 different routes. But that's a devil's advocate side of me saying, yes, you guys could use that. So my theory is I would love for you to get Brown, full disclosure, and I would love for us to get Williams, because then it would be fun. Because we lost, Gerard McCoy before the season. So that would be fun for us if they both landed in the NFC East. I know they're saying Seattle's a contender. I just don't see it with DK Metcalf. That's why I heard that all day today. And look, if you can add to your team, I get it. But you got Tyler Lockett, who's as fast as Antonio Brown. And I'm not saying he's the same route runner, but you got Tyler Lockett. You got DK Metcalf, who is that 6'5" guy you're talking about and just rip stuff out of the air. Yep. So, if Seattle does it, I guess I could see it. But I don't know. I thought about your Eagles today, too, because, the Cowboys, again, money-wise, yes, it makes sense they could do it, too, for it's 1 year, and it's basically like what Cam Newton signed in New England.
It's half a season, so he's probably going to get $1 million and then incentives. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Right. Right. So I mean, and that's about it. But it would be interesting. Like I said, I think hopefully he would realize that he did that. That it is his last chance, because wherever he goes, and not even from the if you become a problem in the locker room, I mean, people are going to, okay, you're done. Have a good day. How about Des Bryant? Lastly, though, real quick, Baltimore Ravens bringing him back out for maybe sign him to the practice squad.
I was like, why didn't you guys bring him back? I was like, I figured, what, because now CD Lamb's wearing 88. Now Des is like, well, I'm not coming back. I mean, come on.
I don't think Jerry even reached out to him, because once he had the Achilles injury in New Orleans, which, man, I don't even. It's funny because it's funny how things work out. New Orleans signed him, and then in practice, right before the first week, he was practice. Well, he was able to play in that next game. He blows out his Achilles. The Rams get that crap pass interference call. Oh no, that was the Minnesota Miracle that they lost when he was signed. So that was Minnesota. So imagine Des Bryant there with the young Michael Thomas at the time. Oh, they get past Minnesota. And then I think they inevitably, it would have been interesting to see them play, because the Eagles definitely had enough to beat them, but I don't think they would have. I don't think they nearly would have beat them as bad as you guys crushed Minnesota. So, and they're disappointing this year, by the way, too. And they just traded Ngakoue to the Ravens. Did you see that? The Ravens just got better. Yeah.
The two teams that are pretty much dispersing all of their talent, Minnesota and the Jets. If you're looking for talent, start plucking in those two teams, because just ridiculous decisions being made by the ownership and by general managers. And I'm like, what are y'all thinking? Like, is there somebody that we don't know about yet that y'all are looking at right now that is the next? And so you're going to make this cap space and do whatever you need to do and just say, here, go take these guys who are our premier guys and say, we'll hold off for down the road. What?
Right.
What?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. Well, and the other thing too is, I mean, they were talking about the salary cap next year, and I know we touched on that earlier because, obviously with COVID offense, it might go down a little bit. But the funny thing is, the franchise tags aren't going down. So Dak inevitably, again, betting, he wanted 5 years. They only wanted to give him 4. Either way, if he would have got franchised this year, this year he did, obviously. But if they would have done it again next year, he would have been walking away with $74 million in 2 years. Now, again, and that's still guaranteed, because he's still getting paid for this year because he's got the franchise tag. And I mean, I'm sure there's probably insurance escalators that kick in that, they never talk about. But that being said, I mean, pulling a Kirk Cousins, and Kirk Cousins, said he told him, last year or whatever it was, you got to bet if you get the deal you want, you got to bet on yourself. But I just, again, like I said, when it comes down to playoff wins, but he's proven now that he probably is going to get the 5 years, and the signing bonus probably be a little bit more. It's only one game for Andy Dalton. Again, just like other quarterbacks, Andy Dalton doesn't play defense. The defense is terrible, but if Zeke can't hold on to the ball, Randall needs to be in there and just give him the ball and run it. I don't care if you run it the first 25 plays of the game and you only gain 75 yards. Honestly, I do not care against Washington, Eric. If they run it the first 25 plays of the game and they only have 75, I'll be cool, because they'll probably shoot up the whole first quarter. So I won't really care. But I'm just so sick of, the one game overreaction. Yeah, Andy Dalton in the playoffs hasn't won, and I get it, but it makes me sick, because you see the talent, just like with you guys. I mean, the injuries kill it, but you see the talent, you're like, you guys have no effort. I mean, look, the Cardinals punched him in the mouth, and Kyler Murray, I mean, the steps he's taken this year, being here again,
I mean,
right,
okay,
huge.
You add in Kenyon Drake and you add in DeAndre Hopkins. You just give this young man in his sophomore year, you give him weapons, and he's running an offense that he already knows under Cliff Kingsbury. I mean, come on.
Yep. And this is the first full year for Kenyon Drake, because last year when you traded for him, I mean, there's some plays you can give them. Yeah, they're football players. They get playbooks, they're not done, but picking up pass protections is different for each offense, as you and I know. But yeah, I mean, if another full year with Drake, he actually ran physical for the first time of the year against the Cowboys. I'm like, of course, great. And then Christian Kirk, I mean, DeAndre Hopkins, Larry Fitzgerald when Larry Fitzgerald is a third thought, which cracks me up. I'm not saying he is, but when people, it's
on
insane.
That. Larry Fitzgerald is the third guy that Kyler is looking to throw to. So,
well,
Mike, I got to get out of here, man. I know it's only almost 10 o'clock in your time, but it's about 1 a.m. here, and I got to get to sleep. So, brother, I appreciate you. Much love, brother.
That's why I said earlier, real quick, the NFC is like Cinderella, baby. The ball, it strikes midnight, and our division is terrible. They're turned into Dolphins.
Hell yeah. So, what time tomorrow are you dropping your latest?
It's actually going to be out on Monday. It's going to be out on Monday because I couldn't secure an interview until Saturday afternoon. So I'm going to drop it Monday.
Believe in the Pac-12 podcast coming out Monday. My man Michael Caratanudo. Appreciate you, brother. Much love. We'll talk soon. The man Eric Wilson, Sports Arena. Hey, y'all. That's how we do it. Late night edition. Everyone have a great night. It is, thank God, it's Friday. See y'all later. Peace.